Grand Rising, wonderful souls, and welcome to Bronwen's Cove Tarot. This is a timeless collective reading on what is coming forward. If you are a new face, welcome, and it's really good to have you here. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, it's good to have you back. It's nice to see you. I was thinking of doing a reading on the lunar eclipse that's coming up, because it's very much about purging it. Eclipses have always been for me about shadow work, and I was really called to do a reading on what it is that's going to be, what it is that we need to let go of, and what it is that's going to be coming in. More or less, what is the focus? And I got called to Seasons of the Witch, Mabon or Mabon Oracle, especially as we are going into autumn with these season changes. And wow, darkness falls, within you lives the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. And fawn, be curious, my child, and explore the world within worlds. Should we have a look at these? I've been told to keep this one. I'm going to pop that one over there. And can I get one more, please? Okay. Witch's Rosary. Craft your skills with intention repeated, a practice of magic powered by purpose. And I feel like there's one more. There's one more. Very synchronistic for me because I keep seeing owls, and there's an owl in this picture. You can see in the corner there. Wisdom coming through. One more, please. Witch's Gathering, with foraging underneath. And Witch's Gathering says, gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising and all will be embraced. Interesting. Okay. Please know that my readings are for entertainment purposes only. Anything that comes up in the areas of law, finance, mental health or physical health, I have to do this legal disclaimer each time because some people do not read when I put it down there. I am not qualified in those areas. I've never claimed that I am, or, you know, any advice that comes from me, you have to use your own discernment. What is going on here? These cards do not want to lay down. Okay. So yeah, if anything comes up and it really resonates for you, ensure that you are speaking to someone who is qualified that can give you that guidance. Because what I tell you or whatever comes through, it's just supposed to be confirmation of what you already intuitively know, right? Now, I don't know why, but I took this deck, and this is like the messy deck. I took this and I put it on top of this, which meant I couldn't actually get to the book inside, which is really strange. So there may be something that's being purged. It's almost like there's a block or someone not wanting to see something or not wanting to hear an explanation. Interesting. Darkness falls. I'm going to put that one in there for Witch's Rosary. And then we also have Witch's Gathering. And then Darkness Falls is the first one. So let's have a look. I heard over a matter of time. So I feel like each of these cards may be depicting either... They're depicting either different months, different periods of time, or you will be going through something here when it comes to this lunar eclipse that will then start a domino effect for these other cards to take place, or for there's something for you to go through some sort of metamorphosis, I heard. Darkness Falls. Keywords are facing your demons, acknowledging faults, and self-compassion. Within you live the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. Your higher self chose this card because you have faults and have made mistakes. It's true that some mistakes are more costly than others, but no one lives a perfect life by any means. When you've made a misstep, or when your faults put you in a sticky situation, defense mode can feel like a natural response. The wound from feeling less than has likely already triggered self-criticism, doubt, and even anger. And then to also bear the weight of someone else's disappointment, pain, anger, or criticism can feel like too much to carry. Before you know it, darkness has fallen and you're operating from a shadowy place rather than standing in your light and giving yourself some grace. You have pulled Darkness Falls because you're experiencing your situation from a dark place and reacting defensively. Every story has two sides. And it may be time to consider whether or not you also share some blame in your current circumstances. This card does not guide you to view yourself in a negative light, but to act as a neutral bystander who is merely curious and observant. How might you advise a friend who is experiencing similar circumstances? Would you guide them to calm down and take deep breaths? Explain to them how they might be wrong in the situation, or even say sorry? You might find clarity and the answers needed for a positive resolution once you observe your circumstances from the outside rather than deep inside your shadow. Perhaps you will discover you were right all along, or maybe you'll be forced to acknowledge your own faults. As C.S. Lewis said, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Now, I find this very interesting because a previous reading that I did, I think it was yesterday, this card came out right at the end and it was depicting someone else. Now, there being a mirror here, I don't know if this lunar eclipse is going to bring up energy of the past, especially with somebody who either was mirroring you or you mirrored them. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you are always giving away your identity, yourself, your love, your space in relationships, this may be a time to kind of nurture and be really kind with yourself. And this keeps wanting to fall off. Okay, this keeps wanting to leave, like the third eye. And it's giving me the energy of like when we doubt our power and we doubt where we've come from, how far we've come, and we say no, and we kind of fall into that emotion or fall into whatever presently is happening and forget that it's happening for us as much as it's happening to us. And that's not a criticism, it's not a judgment, it's just an observation. Now there's a fox at the top, okay? There's something here with cunning, high intelligence, being analytical. There's a lot of snakes in here as well. But snake energy is actually really grounding. I know people will be like, oh, that person's a snake, or there's a snake in the grass. But snakes are extremely grounding energies. They, you know, they're so grounding because they are so close to the ground. There's something here with rebirth also. Now this may have to do with your third house and your 12th house as well. I mean, you have a number 12 here, so it's quite obvious that we're talking about Pisces, the 12th house, looking at spirituality. Someone may be going through a dark night of the soul, or this lunar eclipse may be opening that up but I'm seeing like opening up the gates to the underworld, almost like with Hades and Persephone. And I don't mean that in a negative way, just things that may come up that are uncomfortable, that you thought you had already lit a candle to and had a look at, are going to come forward. And there is definitely a need to be very gentle with yourself and honor whatever it is that comes up. If you feel angry about it, feel angry. If you feel that something's unjust, then feel that unjustness. Whatever comes forward, honor it. It's not saying encourage it and stay angry for, you know, a week, a month, or stay feeling like you are a victim. But honor the way that you feel and see where it takes you. And the description of this card is very much asking you to be able to do so in a way where you're able to step out afterwards and go, okay, now what's the advice that I'd give someone else, and how am I actually going to do that for myself? Talking, there's not a lot of talk therapy. Someone may need talk therapy. Talk therapy could literally be going and having a coffee with a friend. Where is my coffee? Going and having a coffee with a friend and talking about it. It could be talking to a therapist. It could be going to a group session. For someone, it's improv class. There's something here about pretending to be someone else so that you can speak this out in a way that's safe for you. I heard Mabon is important. So for somebody here, going into autumn, into fall is really important. Now, before I pull the other ones, I actually want to get some clarity on this card alone. I'm finding it very intriguing that I placed those cards on top of the book, on top of this book. The weight of something, hiding the explanation under the weight of something. I've been told to come over here. the weight of something. What is it? What's to be uncovered this lunar eclipse? Oh, my throat's very funny. What's to be uncovered? Truth. When it comes to family matters, when it comes to womb healing and seed healing, when it comes to allowing yourself to portray yourself in a better light. Peaceful amongst thorns is upside down. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of shadow work, and it might come out of the blue, that someone may be looking in the mirror and then something just dawns on them, or one of your guides is going to hand you a memory or hand you a piece of truth that connects you back to your childhood. I heard it may be hard, but it's necessary. And it may have to do with past romantic relationships also, because you have here romantic love. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience and reflection with a conscious lover. Because you know what, I was just thinking today, and I realized sometimes my thoughts can be pre-channels. And I was thinking about how, like, when we're younger, we get really caught up in, you know, like the Twilight with, you know, like all those Twilight movies and those books about like teen romance, and part of it is almost like us being pulled along by a romantic fairy tale, but part of it is also us vibrating with a wound within ourselves where we feel like we're unloved or abandoned, and this is just my opinion, where we were dismissed, so we are not getting that attention, whatever it may be, and it becomes our attachment style in relationships. It becomes our love language because it's the things that we didn't have. And when we heal that, those types of movies, those types of books, they no longer resonate with us. And I was talking about this yesterday when talking about scary movies and how they no longer scare you when you remove the fear of the thing, that wound within yourself. There's something here that you're going to heal. And it's not just going to be over this lunar eclipse. I feel like it's going to be going into winter, or like through autumn. And as we come out of autumn and we start winter, something that was buried deep is going to be unsurfaced. And by the time it's unsurfaced, this is when we go into the second card. Right now, what we're looking at here, we've got desire coming out here, realization. I told you, and perception underneath with delight. So we have here for realization, the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth. Come on now. As well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. That's beautiful. That is absolutely stunning. It really, really is. We have perception here as well. And I should say, that comes back to a 0. That's the beginning of something else. That's conceiving something new that ends with delight, with radical rebirth, with change. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, you also have here perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So this autumn is going to be, I feel like it's going to be life-changing for someone here on what it is that you desire when it comes to romantic love, or what the way that you look at romance. Because I can only go by my own experience of what it is that I looked for in a partner was actually all the things that, one, I had to heal within myself first, because what you are seeking is seeking you. And if you haven't healed within yourself, then you are just going to manifest in things that aren't for you. This is coming through. There's some sort of hurdle that you're getting over. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. I love that. I would like to get the next card out. So the next card that came out was not Witch's Gathering, it was the other one, wasn't it? Witch's Rosary with the owl on it. Keywords: focus, concentration, intention, developing habits, and trust. Craft your skills with intentions repeated. a practice of magic powered by purpose. Okay, so I feel that the next couple of months, and remember my readings are timeless. If you are watching this and it isn't, well, we're not going from late summer into autumn, that's fine. If it resonates, it resonates. I do think that this is, I feel like this lunar eclipse, the effects from it are going to be everlasting, but the effort needs to be put in for you to feel that. It's almost like opening up a door and you're being told, here's a bottle and it's got, you know, it's got energy in it, and if you take this energy, or if you incorporate that into your energy field, it's going to help you level up, you know, some of your chakras. But for that to happen, you need to actually go within your chakras and realign them yourself, because this energy is going to help, but it's not going to do it all by itself. Okay, it's the same as manifestations, going, I actually want to manifest this new dream job into my life, but I can't just sit there and wait for it to come. I do need to actually create my resume and send it out into the universe. Now, this one says, your higher self chose this card because it represents the long road to success that guides you to remain focused and intentional. Come on now. Your situation is not one that will gain immediate results, but is likely to be rewarding with patience and consistent effort. The way forward is to be practical, responsible, and committed to mundane tasks that aren't glamorous, but do provide security and stability. You will receive this card when you are ready to put in the hard work to see your goal through, although it does remind you to avoid perfectionism. Habits and skills take time to master, so don't take it too personally if you don't get it right at first. You may follow instructions step by step and find that still something is off. Remember that you can always start from the beginning, retracing your steps until you discover the source of the problem. This card also confirms that you're on the right path and should keep doing what you're doing. You may be frustrated if you are not seeing results, which is why this card has made its way to you. Spirit wants you to know that you have done nothing wrong, but must trust that your work will be rewarded with time. Now, there is a Witch's Rosary manifesting chant, and that will be for those who it resonates with. This chant is excellent for calling in what you desire, although affirmations work great as well. It can be done with anything that helps keep you consistent in repetition. Go to a place that is quiet and free of distractions. Nature is always best, but you can choose wherever you prefer. Hold a rosary in your hands and place your fingers on one of the beads. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, then recite an intentional phrase and repeat it for every bead. Okay, I think I heard when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So this isn't going to be an easy road is what I'm getting here. This is not going to be an easy road, and this is not going to be a quick fix. And that's what I mean by the energy that's coming through from this lunar eclipse is going to change. It's almost like life-changing events come from it, but the inner work still needs to be done. It still needs to be done. And I want to get some clarity. Let's see. Let's move you, my lovelies. That's probably why I had like this, I automatically just picked up that deck and put it on top of it, because this isn't something that's done in a week. This isn't something that's just done in a couple of months. This lunar eclipse is going to open a door, and I heard it's going to change you for the better, without a doubt, for the better. And it doesn't all have to be, you know, doom and gloom and just looking into your shadow and having to take breaks where you're having to, like, you know, with a rosary bead. No, and I don't want to give that example. I don't want to give that that image. It's just that whatever it is, when it comes to your healing, it's not linear. It's going to take time. Take breaks when you need to. I'm not a therapist. If you feel like you need to speak to a therapist, please seek one out. Please seek one out. Therapy. I've had therapy and it is extremely cathartic. It really does help to organize the brain, the heart, the mind, and align them. Now you've got Temple Path coming out. So you're being told that even when you feel like I'm not seeing the results that I want, or maybe I'm still stuck in this energy of volatility or sadness or grief for whatever it is that you feel that you have lost or had to walk away from. It could be a lost childhood, walking away from family members. It could be a romantic connection, whatever it is for you. Know that you're on the right path. And if you do feel really sad and you do feel angry, or you are feeling volatile and it lasts longer than you want it to, then I do really suggest that you speak to a therapist or to your doctors just to get the support that you need. But know that you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't failed. It doesn't mean that you're not making progress. I think that's what you're being told, that this wisdom that's going to change you from, you know, the canon event of this lunar eclipse, is that wisdom is going to come to you slowly. It's going to come to you at the pace that's right for you. Can I get one more card, please, for Temple Path? Just one. Manifestations come out. Nothing is yet set in stone, but this manifestation coming out, you are manifesting the life that you want. You're manifesting, I had a healed path, or a path that has scars and no longer wounds. And that is coming in for you. That really is coming in for you. And look, you've got the first house immediately. The way that you project yourself, do it on your own. The more that you are kind of diving into your healing, the quicker things are actually going to come in for you. So you may at first be like, I'm not seeing anything. It's not working. And the minute that you get yourself out of that mindset and you are just focusing on yourself, on love, on gratitude, on grounding, on being present, these things, then you're going to see the difference. Then you're going to see the change that you want to see. Be the change you want to see. Now the last one is Witches Gathering. And it says, gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising and all will be embraced. And we have here key words: loyalty, faith, friendship, cooperation. Your higher self chose this card because it is a good omen of friendship and renewed connection. This is a positive sign for you if you are seeking to reconnect with a lost friend or lover. Take steps to reach out as your reunion will result in a joyful and positive experience. Witches Gathering is also a great sign if you're seeking new relationships, either intimate or platonic. There are people who are just your kind of people, and you will likely go on to build rewarding, loyal and long-lasting relationships with any new people entering your life at this time. Seek people who share your values and interests. You may be surprised to find there are many people who understand you on a soul deep level, who have been looking for someone just like you to occupy rooms in their lives. This card also brings an important message. Relationships are not to be taken lightly. They require care and attention. It's important to make time for the people who are the most important to you, because they need your love and support just as much as you need theirs. And maybe even more. This card guides you to say yes to as many social invitations as possible. There are people who are very eager to meet you, and you never know when a party or night at a bar with a friend can change your life. I love this. It's even more critical for new relationships that are fragile and just beginning to take shape. If you're feeling vulnerable, it's safe to say others might be feeling something similar. Making time and doing your best confirms your desires to have others around, and will go a long way in showing how much you care. So this is the energy almost like resulting from going through a dark night of the soul. And I know I've said it before, you know, when you remove the things that aren't for you, it opens up more space for the things that are. And it's very cliched. It's very kind of, you know, but it's true. And this is, if this is resonating for you, if this is specifically resonating for you, there is a need for us to be going through, it's like a cleansing, a purging, because I feel like some of the truths that may be coming through, especially with realization here, that are going to be shown to you by this lunar eclipse. And please know that if you're watching this and there isn't a lunar eclipse coming up, but there is a full moon, or there is something happening with the moon that you find very interesting and special, this may actually be resonating for you. I mean, because our next lunar eclipse, I don't think is until 2025, March 25. And then we have another one in September of 25. and then we have one in August of 26. So even if you are nowhere near those timings for, or it's been past that, you know, take it as it resonates for you. And I keep saying that it's because I know that this, you know, it will resonate for those who are watching this at present, and it may have different meanings for people that are watching this years later or months later. But this is, someone is on the precipice of a realization when it comes to family, when it comes to biases, when it comes to how maybe you were treated when you were younger, or why you were treated in a specific way when you were younger. And this kind of mapping of the past, I keep hearing that you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone, because, you know, we all have varying different childhoods. Some people's, you know, the weight and burden of the childhood traumas that one person carries are going to be completely different in weight to the person next to them. So I'm going to say it one more time. If you feel like you need to speak to somebody who is qualified in mental health, please know that it's okay not to be okay, as long as you are reaching out for help. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and sometimes the human experience is really, really crappy. You're not alone. You're really not alone. The darkness falls is necessary. This, when you live in the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow. When you live in the hidden, the things that want to nothing more than to swallow you whole are present. This is very much about entering the underworld of yourself. The Witch's Rosary is taking time out when you need to, when you feel like you need to take a breath. And I feel like the underlying message on here is being very, very gentle with yourself. Taking time when you need to take time out, or to do something different. It may even be to distract yourself. It could be going for that coffee. It could be relaxing, because I feel like I said, one begets the next, the next, the next. So you start off by opening those gates to the underworld and saying, hi Hades, you know, show me my shadow, show me the things that I didn't see. And when you get that realization, and you're getting to the point of being able to take, I heard if you see 555, you are halfway there. And I've always viewed it as, depending on the numbers that you see, like angel numbers, your guides are kind of letting you know where you are on that journey. So if you're seeing 777, you know that you're near the end of some sort of cycle. If you're seeing 222, it's talking about finding balance for you as you start one. If you see 555 specifically, you know that you're at the Witch's Rosary, that you are at a point where, with craft your skills with intentions repeated, a practice of magic powered by purpose, this is finding habits, new ideas, new ways of doing things. Excuse me. Because by the time we get to the Witches' Gathering, this is when you are meeting new people. And I feel like this is going to take something like 6 to 9 months for someone, maybe even a year. And I heard, you can't rush perfection. You can't rush perfection. Because somebody is definitely resisting at the moment. And you've got a new start is coming. And someone seems to be resisting, deep diving into their heart space trauma. And again, no judgment from me whatsoever, because I don't live in your skin. I haven't walked in your shoes, and I do not know what it is that you have been through. I can only empathize and let you know what spirit is telling me to channel to you. Okay, take it how you need to. But there is definitely an encouragement to surrender to this new beginning, because, and look at that, it looks like a new moon, right? But that's a lunar eclipse. That literally is a lunar eclipse. Do not, someone is being told not to push against this energy that's coming through, because it's for you. It's for you. Anything else that needs to come out on this side? Thank you. It's a lot though. Bring love into the situation, a time to give rather than take. And you also have the end of a tough cycle approaches. But bring love into a situation is upside down. Okay. So there is the energy. And you have a time to give rather than take, and then a tough cycle, the end of a tough cycle approaches. This is letting you know that it is going to be difficult, but it's just life. It's not saying that for a full year or for a full 6 months, you're just going to have an absolute rubbish time of it and everything's going to be poo-pooed and bleh. But with the effort that you're putting in to pouring into yourself, it's an absolute metamorphosis. I can't say the word metamorphosis. When you think of either a moth or a butterfly and that transformation that they go through, it's painstakingly flipping slow, but the end result is absolutely flabbergastingly beautiful. And what that sentient being once was is never to be again, because what they've become gives them such a different sense of freedom that they didn't have before, because now they can fly. They can flipping fly wherever they want to. You've got hostilities coming out in Uranus. Start this situation by be open to ideas about and invent a way to. I feel like during this this extremely spiritual time for you, this is a massive spiritual awakening. It's going to be made very apparent to you who it is that you need to either let go of, because I feel like something's already been let go of. There's already been this opening of almost like the bottom of a plane when they're letting all of like the crap out from the toilets, you know, and they're just flushing it out over the ocean. That's already happened. Now comes this almost like this massive download, this massive realization of who it is that has been trying to push against your understanding of the world, your evolution, your growth, why someone did something the way that they did it. Because we can have our perception and assumptions. Even if we are given receipts, we're still not knowing the entire truth. We only know what it is that we're being shown. And you're going to be shown, look, mask off. And communication is key with your destiny underneath. Relationships is also coming out. Relationships, the beauty of, do it with partners. And it's to do with your career. It's to do with your career. It's to do with your purpose. It's to do with where you're going. This lunar eclipse is so important. It really is the beginning of the ending of an era that you are the caterpillar. After that, with the darkness falls going into Witch's Rosary, this is when you wrap yourself in that chrysalis. And you may be in there for a while, and it's fine. You can still go for coffees with other chrysalises. You can still kind of like hermit if you need to. Because when you come out on the other side with this witch's gathering, you are going to be attracting like for like at such a lightning speed. Such a lightning speed. Okay. Now, before I go, yeah, I keep getting pulled over here. Keep getting pulled over here. So let's just mush these up so they're not all the same, because I don't like when they're all the same way up, because it's a very biased read then. Wowee. Oh my gosh. You got freedom, liberation, and allowing. And it says here also, you've also got grief, but it says, I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. Oh my goodness. Oh my goody aunt. Wow. You then have liberation, another winged creature. And we were just talking about butterflies and moths. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe them anymore that they are you. And you've got grief here as well. Tears are what happens when the ice in the heart melts. Because this is what you need to go through, or this may be something that you will go through. And that's why I keep hearing it's a necessary part of life. There's something here about a cycle. Grieving or mourning who you used to be, or grieving or mourning the identity between two people. It's between two. It could be a mother and the child. It could be a father and the child. It could be a sibling to sibling. But there's some sort of connection here. It could be with romantic love. Somebody that you thought, or an idea that you thought was supposed to be for you. and that wound healing, and then that never resonates with you anymore. Just like those books, like, you know, 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight or all of that jazz. And it says here, allowing radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so that what's needed can come next. And it says loss underneath as well. Wow, wow, wow. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of egos. That's amazing. I'm going to leave it there because I think that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. And I hope that gave you some confirmation and clarity in what you already intuitively know, especially when it comes to the energy of this lunar eclipse coming up. And I had going full circle, going completely full circle. Know that my readings are closed at the moment. I love you guys. I will see you later. Bye.